And welcome into the Paul Farrington Show, our Tuesday edition of the Paul Farrington Show. Paul joined alongside Jack Weinberger, Robert Ziggy Ziegler at the University of Virginia, and Zach Bloomquist, the best executive producer in the game, one of the strongest executive producers in the game.
There's that flex, baby.
Yep, he's back. He's back.
Boom, boom.
Ziggy, did you have a nice Labor Day?
I'm pissed off, Paul. Labor Day is a federal holiday. You are supposed to get the day off. I had the opposite. UVA doesn't give any faculty or students the day off. I had office hours at 9 a.m. I had a meeting end at 7:50 p.m. I was busy basically the whole day for over 11 hours on Labor Day.
Then you come and record this podcast. It just never ends for Professor Ziegler.
Ziggy, will you be at the UVA home opener this Saturday against JMU?
Almost certainly not.
Who you got, Jack?
How are they a 7-point home dog at JMU?
No, this team, I don't know if you saw us against Tennessee. It's one of the worst offensive lines I've ever seen.
I did, but like as JMU, are they that good? Like,
I thought JMU is solid.
A 7-point road favorite?
Look, there's going to be more JMU. You have to keep in mind, UVA doesn't have a student section. It is a grass hill.
Jack, we're talking UVA football.
Yeah, but like JMU's
UVA.
JMU, like they've been in the FCS for all these years.
I mean, JMU.
I'm going to quickly move off this topic for the sake of keeping listeners here.
We might have just
we're going to briefly cover some college football today. We'll also be doing NFL season predictions. That's the theme of the show. We'll tell you the division winners. We'll give our season prediction for Super Bowl, some of the big awards, and then one team that we can see going on a surprise run. So someone not like the Bills or the Bengals or the Chiefs. Look
at the pilot.
Yeah.
Steering the plane.
Yeah, we're trying to get it back on track. Quick detour to Virginia. We're going to loop around now to college football and head towards Deion Sanders and Colorado taking down TCU in the opener. 20.5-point dog going into the game. I was furious. I was sitting there waiting, trying to bet the game, and they kicked off, and I decided not to. I was going to take Colorado just plus 20.5, not even money line or anything like that. And that game, as you're watching Shedeur Sanders, we had someone on the show. We had Andrew on the show like a year ago saying he was going to be a Heisman finalist in a couple months' time. And he just looked every bit the part that Colorado fans hyped him up. A lot of people wanted to see this Colorado team fail because of the way Deion Sanders came in and really rebuilt the whole program over the past 6 months. It's a lot of new players. I think they said one defensive starter remains from the team last year. I thought I caught that on the broadcast. But just an absolutely thrilling game back and forth. Travis Hunter, maybe the Shohei Ohtani of college football I saw. He could do everything. Just an absolute great game from him. When you guys watch this, are you buying the Colorado hype immediately?
Here's the thing about Travis Hunter, man. He's very good. But, back when we were 12 at recess, I was playing both sides, too. I was playing cornerback.
You played both sides at
Thanksgiving,
too.
Yeah, I was doing it all as well. So the hype has to die down a bit on that. Okay. Here's what I took away from Colorado in game one. They looked to me what I expected them to look like for the most part. I thought the offense would look good. I like Shedeur Sanders. And I expected the defense to look subpar, which they did. The other thing is, too, I don't really know how good this year's TCU team is.
Maybe riding it too much of last year's momentum.
I think that 20.5-point line could have been a bit baked into what they did last year.
Mm-hmm.
Max Duggan's gone. They lost Quentin Johnson, I believe, in the first round of the draft.
Yep, Chargers.
One of the best receivers in the country. It's a different team. They're a typical Big 12 team, too. Right? Like good offense and no defense, TCU. And if it wasn't for a fourth down conversion, Colorado loses. Yeah, they cover easily and they play well, but they lose the game. I'm a little bit hesitant to drink the Kool-Aid right now. I think this team could win 6 or 7 games and play in a bowl game, but they're not going to win the Pac-12. I think USC.
I mean, yeah, people are all over them right now.
I think they'll lose at Oregon. I think they'll lose in Utah. They have tough games. I don't think they're going to win the Pac-12 or even come close. They're a good team. They're an improved team, and they'll be okay. But I'm hesitant to drink the Kool-Aid because the defense is not there.
Let me ask you, before we get to Ziggy's opinion, when you saw them, were they more impressive? I have to imagine they were more impressive than you expected going into last week.
Yeah, look, I thought TCU was going to beat them by probably double digits.
Got it.
But then again, I don't think that I expected TCU. I thought TCU was better than they might be.
Okay.
I don't know how good they are. And if it's not for a 4th down conversion, TCU wins that game.
Are you also pumping the brakes, Ziggy, or are you part of the crowd now that's saying, all right, primetime, let's go. We're all in on the Buffs?
Well, I'll tell you why I'm buying the hype, at least for this season, until Deion leaves to go to Florida State.
He's wearing his black shirt, too.
Oh, yeah.
It's blue. It's blue. You can't really see on the camera. It's blue.
Okay. You know Ziggy probably had Colorado money line.
Oh, did you?
Look, no comment. All I'm saying is I advised people to take the Colorado money line, combine it with the Sanders over, combine it with the Hunter receiving yards over. That's all I'm saying. If you went to me for advice this weekend, I said that was a lot.
I mean, we publicized the Jack Cap of the Week so much that it gets hidden.
You flew under the radar.
Ziggy's brilliant.
Sometimes you just got to talk to the professor. But look, here's the thing. Colorado's win total this year was 3.5. And that looks like it might be aggressive, right? Last year, their only win was overtime versus Cal, a program that's kind of trying to lose because they just are excited to lose relevance. I've got some reservations. But look, even if TCU regresses horribly, they're the best team by a mile Colorado's beaten in a couple of years. The fact is Deion Sanders, and it upsets me that he's done this because I worry about the precedent, but he's taken a program that was terrible and immediately transform them into a competitive team. You just don't see that very often. And furthermore, it wasn't just the talent, right? Deion came in with a great game plan. He knew the offensive line was going to be bad, so he schemed up a lot of quick looks. He knew the defensive line was going to be bad, so he called a little bit less aggressive plays on the defense until it was time to get a stop. The players who needed to showed up at the right moments. And, is this a sustainable 10-win team? No, but if they win 4 games, they've beaten the win total. So do you guys think
a lot of people are – so Travis Hunter, we touched him off the top. He was, great, as we said. There were multiple plays that didn't even count, especially – remember that touchdown in the back of the end zone, touchdown grab, he was out of bounds. He made 3 or 4 spectacular plays that didn't even count, and then you add on the interception, everything. Is he actually a legit Heisman contender in your guys' eyes, or Shedeur Sanders? Because people are talking about that, and it's hard to see those guys – ending up as a Heisman finalist or something like that, or even a candidate if Buffalo's not really good. So I'm holding off on that hype because I think this team could win. They could get to 7 wins, but that's not enough for me to get to Heisman potential.
Yeah, I agree. I think that when it comes to the Heisman, unless your stats are astronomical all season long, I think the team success is a big part of that. Mm-hmm. I do think Shedeur Sanders. So I'm on the Heisman, I'm not touching that either, at least for a while. But I think this offense should be great. Is set up for Shedeur Sanders to be really, really good. He throws a lot of these 7 or 8 yard passes that his receivers get out in space and take it for an extra 25 yards.
And they're more talented. The receivers are more talented than a lot of teams in the country.
For sure. He's throwing these quick balls, and the receivers take in the middle of the field, and they're taking off. So I think that his passing yards, at least game 1, were a little bit inflated, and that's what Deion Sanders wants. Why wouldn't he? It's his son. So I think he's having a very good season because I think the offense is set up for him to be elite. But Heisman, I'd pump the brakes on that.
Okay. And Ziggy, one more question before we move off of Colorado here. You said the over/under was 3.5 just a week ago, I believe, right?
Yeah, that was their win total.
Yeah. So I checked earlier today. It was at 5.5 plus 128. And I'm staring at that number. Deion Sanders has me by the balls right now. I'm not going to lie. I already hammered mine's 2.5 against Nebraska this week. But I'm looking at their schedule.
Are you spitting or swallowing?
I'm looking at their schedule. I see Nebraska, Colorado State, Arizona State, Arizona. Those are all games that they should be able to win. Is 5.5 a number to pounce on right now if you're a gambler?
So I would hit the under, but here's what I'd really
hit the under. Okay.
I think they're going to beat Nebraska. I think they're going to beat Colorado State. And then people forget the Pac-12 this year is a juggernaut, right? They have to play Oregon. They have to play. Yeah. It's so Pac-12 that they're finally good the year before the league's going out of existence.
Before they blow up. Yeah.
You picked some easy teams, right? Here are some hard teams: Oregon, Oregon State, Utah, USC, UCLA. Washington State is one of those teams that can be a tough draw too. It wouldn't be a surprise if they lost every single one of those games, right? They're not out USC and USC. They're probably not going to beat Oregon. They're going to struggle against Utah. If they win their next 3 games, you're going to see that win total go up to 6.5, maybe even 7.5. that's when you hit the under. So I'd be patient. They're going to beat Nebraska because Matt Rule is trash. They're going to beat Colorado State because Colorado State is just not a program. Then you take the under. That's my gambling advice.
That's a good point because they're going to be 3-0. They'll win the home opener.
That Oregon game will be awesome.
They'll win the home opener and they'll beat Colorado State. And then they host USC. Well, it's free.
They go to Oregon. They go to Oregon, then they host USC.
They'll lose at Oregon. They could beat USC at home. They could. But again, they could also lose. They could lose Oregon State.
If they beat USC at home, I think it actually. If they beat USC at home, the Pac-12 is low key on.
But still, like, you can lose at Oregon. You can lose at Utah. Every single one of the remaining games outside of Stanford, like they have Stanford, Arizona.
Here's the schedule. I'll lay it out real quick. They host Colorado State. They host Nebraska and Colorado State at Oregon. Host USC at Arizona State. Host Stanford at UCLA. Host Oregon State. Host Arizona at Washington State at Utah.
Yeah, they should beat Arizona. They should beat Stanford. They should beat Nebraska, and they should beat Colorado State. That's
Arizona State.
That's 5 wins right there. They're at Arizona State.
Okay.
I'm not chalking that as an automatic win.
Okay.
I think on the road in the Pac-12, Colorado can lose to anybody on the road. So there's a world where they can lose the rest of those games. I don't think it's a bad idea to wait for them to go 3-0, maybe get a 6.5 and take them under.
And then do it. Okay, so you guys are in lockstep there.
I'm not buying sipping the Kool-Aid yet.
It'll be fun though. Like Deion Sanders, love him or hate him. It's hard not to love him though.
Look,
he's entertaining.
If they're 3-1 or 4-1 though, and it's a night game and USC comes to town, I mean, I'll be on Colorado. I think in that game.
Yeah, that was fun.
as a home dog.
Even in commercials, it's all Deion Sanders, progressive. He's with Nick Saban. It's like it felt like the Deion show, and it was fun. So we'll see how long that lasts.
Yeah. Like I'll just say this for Colorado fans: they've had one winning season since 2005. You have to be. I don't care how much Colorado is spending on this. I think they're spending like $8 million a year, plus however much else for Deion's like recruiting stuff. You have to be thrilled with your return on investment, even if he leaves for like Florida State next year.
Oh yeah, I mean it was a great start already. So we'll see what happens. But
7-5 is a good year playing a bowl.
All right, we'll hit these other college stories real quickly before we get on to our predictions. LSU, FSU, real brief.
I'm not saying a word.
Well, it wasn't a fun day.
I wore the Miami shirt because I know FSU hates
for
Miami,
a reason.
So I hate FSU
for a reason. It felt like I was at the Bruce Springsteen concert. I watched highlights and caught up on it, but it felt like to me from rewatching that LSU really blew a lot of opportunities. I know Florida State won big in this one, but I thought LSU, for the most of the first half, looked like the much better team. Just wasn't able to come away with points a lot of the times. It's just great. They muffed another punt against Florida State. It's I actually leave this game thinking LSU is the better team. Florida State just whooped them in the second half, and once they had the momentum, it was too much, especially in Orlando.
LSU got the ball and was down at the 5-yard line, I think 15 seconds in.
Yeah.
And they had first and goal at the 3. They couldn't score, turnover on downs.
They got 3 more downs, too. They got 7 plays
there
inside.
There was a penalty. So 7 plays inside the 5, couldn't score. LSU, the whole first half, they had 6 possessions inside the red zone. Every time they got the ball, they marched on the field, got inside the 20-yard line. Florida State couldn't stop them. And LSU walks away with 17 points because they're stopped on 2 fourth downs. They kick a field goal, score 2 touchdowns. They should have been up 28-7 at the break, and it was 17-14. And I knew it was bad news when it was 17-14 at the half, when they flat out dominated for the first 30 minutes of the game. Because then Florida State comes out of the half like, you know what, like, we got destroyed, and we're right here in this game. And then once they took the lead, the win came out of LSU sails, because we've dominated now for 2.5 quarters and we're losing. And then it started to sound like Doe Campbell, and the whole stadium with the war chant. It was a tale of 2 halves. Like LSU looked dominant for 1 half and was only up by 3. Florida State looked dominant and was able to capitalize, put the ball in the end zone, which LSU couldn't do.
Yep. And you know what? I just want to say this about LSU, which it pissed me off going into the season. They had a nice end to last year. They really did. But got walloped by Georgia. And to be fair, a lot of people did. Most people did by Georgia last year. Great win against Alabama at home. But there was a lot of hype around this LSU team, and I felt they were overrated coming into the season. People were talking about them flat out winning the SEC, and they have to be mentioned as a contender. But I don't think that they're in the upper echelon of elite teams, in my opinion. Now we'll see because, there's who knows who's actually going to wind up being elite this year. I thought they were a little overrated coming into the year, so I liked seeing them lose. And Brian Kelly pissed me off after, of course, with the Notre Dame stuff. But I felt that team has been a little overrated. And Florida State, you look at their schedule now, it's really only at Clemson. And after that, there's not much standing in this team's way.
They go to Pitt. They go to Florida.
Well, I mean, you could be looking at, if LSU winds up winning out or coming close to winning out, Florida State really was one main challenge getting in their way.
And Clemson also sucks.
I don't think Clemson's that good either.
You're going to see, we're recording in the middle of the Clemson-Duke game. I'm just letting you all know Clemson is going to get smoked.
By Florida State or by Duke?
By Duke?
By Duke. No, their offensive line is going to collapse. I looked down at my phone. I got a text from my friend who went to Clemson saying it's so over.
I don't think this Clemson team is very good.
Yeah, but look, here's the thing. Like, if you're Florida State, you're undefeated, you go on the road to Clemson, like,
that's tough.
Clemson can win that game.
It's tough. All right, so let's wrap up with this here for college football. Georgia and Ohio State. I know, Ziggy, you thought they looked a little better than I did. I was following those games throughout and wasn't particularly impressed by Carson Beck or Kyle McCord, despite the scores at the end of the game being very lopsided. And it made me start to think, as we're going into this season now, could a team like Florida State, our Notre Dame Fighting Irish, Ziggy, are looking really good with Sam Hartman right now. USC and Caleb Williams are big-time contenders, but is the door opening right now for the first time in a while where, maybe in Alabama and Georgia, Ohio State, Michigan, like these teams might just not be a lock automatically to go to the playoffs. Michigan looked very good, but what do you guys think? Door open a little bit more?
Me or you, Ziggy?
Yeah, so here's the thing, right? I don't want to overreact too much to week one.
I love it.
But there have been reasons to think that things might be a little bit different this year, right? And it's success in college football, even if you're the best program, it's very hard not to make it cyclical. Mm-hmm. Like, even if you're very good. I don't think there's a lot you can read into Ohio State winning 23-3 against Indiana. They covered just about. I think they were short 1 point covering.
No, they were 20-point favorites.
Okay, so they were short a few points. Georgia didn't look great against Tennessee Martin, but I tend to not put a lot of stock into dominant but not complete blowout victories against bad teams.
It is just week one, too. It is just week one.
So here's the nice thing, right? If you're Ohio State, we'll get a chance to see them prove themselves, right? They've got a tough schedule. They have to play Ohio. They have to play Notre Dame. They got to play Penn State. They got to play Wisconsin. They got to play Michigan at the Big House. On the other hand, Georgia needs to worry about this a little bit because they have one of the softest schedules in college football. If they don't completely stand out and then they blow the SEC championship game, they're not getting in. So, I think for reasons of scheduling, it's quite likely that we'll get to see one or two fresh faces in there, relatively fresh. It's not like Notre Dame is some outsider. But it's tough for me not to see one of the big 5 or 6 teams winning it all this year.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, look at a team. Let's compare Ohio State and Notre Dame, for example, too, right? Ohio State this year has to go on the road to Notre Dame, and Notre Dame will have a better quarterback.
That never happens.
Yeah, Ohio State has. I mean, he's a freshman. I don't.
No. McCord. I don't think McCord is.
He's not a freshman.
No. McCord's not. McCord's right. McCord. I thought he's been there for a couple.
Or he's been back up. Okay.
I think so.
But still, I mean, a quarterback who hasn't. Okay, but look, Ohio State and Georgia, they're two quarterbacks who haven't played at this level. Yeah, it's tough to say. Okay, here's Stetson Bennett in Georgia. They've won 2 championships. Bennett's gone. It's a new face.
And Stetson Bennett was good.
You're right.
People to crap on him, but he kept beating out 5 stars for the job.
Bennett was great. Stroud was great, and now they're new.
Bama too. I know you like Milroe and Bama, but I don't think he's a great passer.
To me, there's no real. At least I'm week 1, but my prediction is there's no real dominant force of a team, like a clear-cut number 1 seed.
No Georgia from last year.
Playoff. Yeah, anybody in the playoff could win.
I love how Georgia's just probably gonna come out and start routing people.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. I mean, they'll get smoked at Tennessee. They don't play an SEC championship.
It's fun though. I hope there is parity because when you have a team just roll through everyone, it takes away a little bit of the excitement to me.
Florida State's the best team in the country.
We'll see. It could be. Could be Sam the Man in the Fighting Irish.
I think it'll be Florida State, Bama, Notre Dame.
Can you imagine? And who's the other one? And Colorado.
Florida State. No, Florida State bound Notre Dame and Oregon. That's my final four.
All right. Wow. All right. There's your predictions. Okay, why don't we go ahead now and get into the NFL? Did you enjoy that college football talk, Zach? Producer Zach?
Is that boring or is that okay?
It'll work for me.
Didn't seem, yeah. I know it's not your thing, but we'll get into division predictions here. We're going to do this rapid fire style, the way we do our game picks during the season. We're very excited to get back and going. We might even try to go live after the opener on Thursday Night Football. So stay tuned potentially for that. Division predictions, though. All right, Zach, you are going to be a part of this. Is that okay with you?
Yeah. Do we have a scene for this?
A scene?
Boom. It's great producing
A scene for what? I don't.
for all three of us.
Yes.
All three
Okay,
scenes
okay.
up.
All right, why don't we? Oh, you throw yourself on camera. Okay.
Yeah, I know.
Very
Look,
rarely do we see that from
yeah,
Zach.
yeah. Look, I'm going to be in here.
Round of applause.
Okay, this is great.
The folks can see how filthy our studio is.
Yeah.
Whoa, Ziggy, don't tell. Shh.
Studio's actually in pretty good shape.
Yeah.
Okay, well, why don't we
Only
start
one side
off?
has to be
Fine us
nice.
is nice. Fine us is
Fine, that's nice.
What's that, Ziggy? We don't
Looks
know
good.
how many we have left.
Yeah, who knows?
don't
We
hate
might
on
be
us.
switching studios soon. Okay, let's get into
no
this.
spoilers, no
We will
spoilers.
start off with the AFC East. Zach's AFC East. Now,
I'm going to let you all go first.
yeah, let us go first here. One quick, I know we're keeping this rapid fire. I just want to say this one thing, though. The Bills go to Kansas City, Philadelphia, Cincinnati. In already, of course, with the Jets and Dolphins. They also go to the Chargers. The Dolphins go to Kansas City, Philadelphia, Baltimore, and the Chargers. The Jets host the Chiefs, host the Eagles, host the Chargers. That could come into play, just home and away. But with that said, Ziggy, I'm going to go with the Bills. They've been so good for so long. 10-plus wins for multiple years in a row now. Sean McDermott. I got Buffalo, best quarterback in the division, Josh Allen.
I'm going Buffalo too until somebody can prove to me they can beat them out in the regular season. I'm taking the Bills.
Josh Allen is the second best quarterback in football. Good offense, good defense. I'm taking the Bills. My real surprise prediction, I think the Jets are coming in fourth.
Oh,
I think the Dolphins coming last.
Let's go Buffalo. All right, Zach, producer Zach. I wonder where this could go.
Yeah, there's only one place this goes. This goes Miami winning it all.
Winning it all? Or
Look, I'm not going to win it all. Yeah, look, I'm winning it all.
That could be a 1 seed.
Yeah, we're winning it all.
So you have the Dolphins winning the AFC East here.
Oh, yeah, 100%. We have the best roster. What else could you say? I mean, Tua's going to be healthy all year. He took up jiu-jitsu. I'm a big advocate
You are
for
a jiu-jitsu
jiu-jitsu.
guy, yeah.
Right? So we saw some video already of him falling, getting right back up. I think Tua stays healthy all year, and I think we go on a nice 15-1. Well, I guess 15-2.
15-2 season.
15 and
Who do you
2
lose
season.
to? Who do you lose to?
Who do we lose to? I think the Bills take us
In
in Buffalo. And then I say we probably lose. I want to say we lose to the Chiefs, but I think Tyreek Hill has a huge game that day.
Revenge game.
So probably the Eagles.
That'll be
So
a
probably,
Tyreek Hill prop game.
yeah, so we probably lose the Eagles.
I found this stats Zach here. I know we talked about how great Tua was deep ball. He had the number one completion percentage on throws over 15 yards and the most at 59%, and the most yards per attempt at 15.9 on 15-plus yard throws, and was number one 8 completions of 50-plus yards last year. So is it crazy to say the Dolphins have the best weapons in the division that's loaded with weapons, and maybe even now with Vic Fangio, the best defense in that division? I want to say the Dolphins so bad, but I can't pick against Buffalo.
No, it's okay. You
Lone wolf.
you guys could stay on that side of the bridge, and I'll stay on this side of the bridge.
Want to hear my dolphin? No, it's a lone dolphin.
No, jeez. Yeah, God.
Fins up.
All right. Did you say you want to say something before we move on?
No. I got
All right.
Buffalo.
Yeah, that was a lot. Okay, the AFC North now. I think every team in this division approaches 10 wins or is around that area. I have the Ravens originally. I'm moving over to the Bengals, though. Everyone knew I'd wind up coming back to Joe Burrow. Marlon Humphrey injury scares me a little bit with Baltimore. I'm going Bengals.
I will be taking the Steelers. I think Pickett will have the best season of any QB in the AFC North. Mark that down right now. Best defense in the division. 14-win season. Steelers.
Ziggy.
You know,
I'm saying with a straight face. I think I'm kidding.
No, I see.
I think this division is going to be incredibly close, but I think the team people are sleeping on that's probably the second best team will push the first best. My pick to win it, the Cleveland Browns.
Wow.
You got an excellent offense. It's going to happen this year. You'll have a functional defense. No, we'll sprinkle in a regression on everyone else.
Let me ask you, Ziggy, before we go to Zach, is this a team, the Browns, that could be 12 plus wins or 6 or less? Do you see them as either being really good or really bad? Or can you see a world where there's a middle ground?
It's tough to see a middle ground because their offense is built around their quarterback. And Deshaun Watson this year is one of the highest variance of outcomes players in the league. But if he puts it together, this could easily be a top 5 team in the NFL.
Okay. All right. So producer Zach, I
have them under 6 wins.
We have a Bengals, we have a Steelers, we have a Browns. Is it possible we hit all 4?
No, absolutely not. I'm going with the Browns too.
Wow! Oh my, that shocks me.
Yeah.
I feel good that Ziggy and Zach.
Yeah, I was gonna say Ziggy. I'm so sorry for your pick there.
Yeah.
Oh, look, I'm big.
Zach, you're the wild card. We said coming into this, so you had the Dolphins and Browns to start this off. Wow.
He also has Watson as his fantasy quarterback.
I do.
He has Watson as his fantasy quarterback.
So you like the Browns too?
I think they're gonna do something special.
They might have the best overall roster in the division. So we'll just come down to Watson.
I do think the AFC North is the only division where every single team is above average in the NFL.
Yeah, I agree. I think they're all capable of going on a deep run. Jack, Steelers look good.
I know they look good.
Okay, let's go on. Yeah, let's go on to the AFC South. I'd like to start with you for this one, Jack. I just want to see where your guys' heads are at before I make this selection. AFC South.
I'll take Jacksonville. I know that's pretty chalk, but they won it last year.
You are.
Square. Yeah, I had LSU along with the rest of the world, so I'm a square. They won it last year. I think Lawrence only gets better. I think it's a good season for Etienne. He was hurt last year. I'll go with the Jags, just purely based on the rest of the division being pretty below average to me. So I'll take Jacksonville.
Ziggy?
Yeah, this division is maybe the opposite. It's possible every single team in this division is below average. The only one that has a chance of breaking that, I think, are the Jaguars. Give them to me.
Zach?
Jaguars.
Oh my gosh! All right, everyone's so quick to just say the Jaguars are really good. Like
I don't think the Jaguars are really good. I said I think every team might be bad. The Titans are like the second best, and they're not good. The Texans and the Colts are like the 2 worst teams in the NFL.
They have Calvin Ridley.
No, they
have one of the best receivers
like,
probably in the league.
Trevor Lawrence was a machine the second half of last year, but like Jack said in a show just a few weeks ago, if they lose to the Titans in week 18, I believe it was, or 7, maybe 17. I'm not sure which one.
Last week of the season.
They are looked upon very differently heading into this season.
Yeah.
So I know that the defense, Tyson Campbell's a rising star corner. I'm going to do it. I'm just going to do it. I think the Titans have a real chance to win this division. They were 7-3 last year, right before it all fell apart. Tannehill got hurt. He comes back now. Secondary improves. A lot of guys coming back. I think DeAndre Hopkins is a big add, and Vrabel is a great coach. I'm going to go with the Titans in a kind of a shock.
You know why that's a pick for you? You know why that's a great pick for you?
Because I like running backs?
No, because you like Mr. Average. That's all you like. You like the Mr. Average quarterback with Ryan Tannehill, Kirk Cousins.
You can't compare Tannehill to the captain.
What do you mean?
You can't compare Tannehill. The captain is elite.
Captain's elite.
The captain's elite.
I mean, I do like average quarterbacks.
We can talk this through when we get to our NFC North.
Yeah, we'll get there. Okay. AFC West, I've got the Chiefs. I'm not picking against them because it'd be dumb. It would be dumb to do that.
Yeah, I'm taking the Chiefs too. I'm not going to say why. I just take the Chiefs.
We know why.
The best team in the NFL is in a division where every other team will probably be about average. Yeah, give me the Chiefs.
Zach,
Chiefs.
Also rolling with the Chiefs.
Chiefs.
Okay.
Can never say the Chargers. Can't say the Chargers.
Was anyone close to the Chargers there? Or Broncos, perhaps?
Not really.
No.
I think the Chargers, any team other than the Chiefs can finish under 500 in that division, and I wouldn't blame.
Okay. NFC. Let's go NFC East. Look, Eagles lose a lot of pieces in free agency, but they keep adding to that D line. It's just absolutely nasty. I think the Cowboys and Eagles are going to be the two, like most people do, to compete here. The Eagles are just a little better at almost everything, and I think the quarterback advantage is in Philly's favor with Jalen Hurts. He could be MVP this year. I got the Eagles.
Cowboys make it interesting. Get the 5 seed in the playoffs. The Eagles win the division.
Okay.
Number 1 seed yet again.
The thing about the NFC East, the Eagles lost a lot more players than people think, right? They lost 7 people who were owing more than 50% of their snaps, big-time starters. The Cowboys, on the other hand, are going to take a big step forward. New, more functional offense. Things are ready to go. I think they win the division.
Okay, one for Dallas.
I'll be the square and take the Eagles again.
All right, we got a lone wolf.
Got some squares here.
Lone wolf. Oh. Okay, NFC North now. So many people are all over the Lions talking about Jared Goff and Dan Campbell. Jahmyr Gibbs, an exciting rookie. Nope. Not buying any of it. Captain Kirk is in Minnesota. The Lions haven't won this division since 1993. This is not the year the Vikings win the NFC North.
I'm buying all of it. Jared Goff, a nice promising rookie, and Jahmyr Gibbs, most talented roster in the division. Detroit, first time in 30 years.
Jeez. All right. Ziggy?
Boy, I really want to take the Vikings to win the division.
Do it.
But they lost so many players.
Detroit.
The Lions have gotten marginally better than last year when they were probably about as good as the Vikings. Give me the Lions.
Yeah.
I hate to
You're
say
a
it.
Vikings fan.
Paul, you got to be honest, right? We say our real opinions regardless of how it makes us look.
I know. Okay.
All right.
Producer Zach.
Can I so this, I'm going to put it two ways.
I know.
I will take the Vikings.
I know he's coming the Vikings.
But
Dude, you love Kirk Cousins too. You know
Thursday,
that.
No.
Skull.
Yeah.
Skull.
If this Thursday, if the Lions beat the Chiefs, I'm taking the Lions to win. Just putting it out
That's
there.
not how it works.
Yeah, okay,
That is how it works.
If the Lions win a big game, I'm going to change my
I'm going to take the hype up.
Shoot, that's Thursday.
That's Thursday. That's what I'm saying.
We're here.
Yeah, I'm taking the
It's in
hype.
2 days.
It's in Kansas City. It's in Kansas
they're
City.
going to get
Yeah, if they win, I'm taking the hype. I'm taking the Lions all the way.
You know, if Detroit wins that game, it's like Super Bowl is on for Detroit fans. They're gonna be like,
I'm picking them.
No, that game is the Super Bowl for Detroit fans if they win.
Exactly. Okay, so Zach with rolling with Kirk Cousins. Was it Kirk that leaned you?
No, it was the absolute utter terrible teams that are left there.
I know what it is.
It's Kirk being
It's
elite.
average.
No.
Average quarterbacks.
Who's his number one pick?
Oh, Justin Jefferson, yeah.
There's a theme here with
So
Zach.
he likes
right?
the Browns,
He
the
likes
Vikings.
the Browns. He likes the Vikings. It makes sense with
Yeah,
Zach.
makes sense.
Okay, let's go on to the NFC South. Don't overthink this. People are trying to get cute with the Panthers. People are getting cute with the Falcons. Saints have the best defense. Saints have the best quarterback. They are winning this division.
I'm going to say something nuts here and take the Bucs. Like, I think I'm
Ziggy.
feeling something special out of Baker for whatever reason.
Special? What are you
Look at the Steelers fan over here saying Baker
For
Mayfield's going to be
whatever reason
special.
it may be, I think he's going to have a good. I like this running back they have. What's his name?
Rashad White.
Rashad White. I like him. Look, they still got Evans. Still got Godwin.
There's a lot of talent on the team
Evans
still.
wants out.
I'm taking Tampa Bay. I think Evans has 1,400 yards.
1,400 yards?
Oh, I think he explodes.
He had 1,000 last year.
Have you seen the videos
I know,
coming out
look,
of Bucks training
that
camp
was
of
with
Baker Mayfield throwing the ball 20
What?
feet over their heads?
That was with washed up Brady. Now he's got Baker.
Washed up Brady.
It
God.
was not long ago. We saw Baker take the Browns to the divisional round.
And beat the Steelers. Is that the only reason why
Yes.
you're going
it
with
wasn't
this?
long
Yes.
ago. We saw
Yes.
Baker getting benched in Cleveland.
I'm feeling something.
He
I'm
got benched
feeling
on the Rams,
something.
too.
I don't know what it is.
Dude, you got to get the right feeling, man. It's just, I don't know what you're feeling.
I don't think the South is
It's the same
good.
feeling you had about LSU.
Look, you got
Oh, God, that's a low blow.
look, you got Bryce Young. You got
I don't think any of these teams are good.
like these teams aren't good. Like I want to take the
All right.
the quarterback who's been to the postseason. I'm going to take Baker Mayfield in the Bucs. I'm going to do it.
Okay.
What are
Ziggy?
their odds? Plus like 1,000.
I don't know the odds off the top of my head, but hey, and you know what? If you're a sportsbook listening, we have no sponsor. So we'd love to be able to read your odds here. Insert ad.
Yep.
Okay, go ahead, Ziggy.
Listen, I think that is insane. There is one team
You're
with
insane.
a functional quarterback and a functional offense and a functional defense, and that's the Saints.
Thank God he said
No
Saints.
other team in this division is those three things. The Bucks have maybe one of those things. The Panthers might have one of those things, though Brian Burns wants out. The Falcons might have one of those things. Only one team is all three of those things. Give me the Saints all day. And it's not because I think they're good. It's because I think they'll be functional.
Okay, Zach.
Yeah, it's Saints all day. Best receiving core out of everybody there.
Lone Wolf, yeah. And just to keep it the theme, Zach,
Give me those Bucs.
on your team is Michael.
Oh, Michael Thomas. I do
There
have
we
Chris
go.
Olave, too. I do have Chris Olave. And I have Jamal Williams. It's crazy.
It's a great theme we sound
Hey,
here. I mean, it makes sense.
All I'm hearing from this is that my team's gonna be crazy this year. They're all divisional winners.
Well, actually, it kind of makes sense. You drafted the people on teams you think are going to be good. It's
Yeah,
Actually,
that's
kind of
that's
brilliant.
you two, you guys do too. It sounds like my team's stepping up to be great.
Maybe. I mean,
Well, I don't.
no. The
think-
problem for you is that the teams you say are going to be great oftentimes.
Oh, so the Vikings aren't going to be great?
Oh shit!
I don't think we have the same.
No.
I don't think we
Okay.
have the same division winners.
What?
I don't think we have any of the same winners. Me and you, none of the same.
That's why one of us here, Zach, is one of the highest winning percentages in the history of our league, and
You are last.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I've also beaten Zach more than he's beaten me.
Oh.
What?
No, we'll have to check that.
Oh,
I'm sorry. How many
Okay.
chips do you have?
What? Let's not get
I
into
have one
fantasy
loading.
here.
I have one
Fantasy.
loading.
NFC West. Geno Smith comes back to earth. He was great beginning of last year. Got away with a lot at the beginning of last year. Started to regress. Seahawks are a good team, not a great team, not even close. 49ers, it's not close at the end of the year either.
Brock Purdy week 1 gets picked up by TJ Watt, thrown back 30 yards. He's done. In comes Sam Darnold. Seahawks win the division.
Okay. Ziggy?
No quarterback got more support from their team than Brock Purdy last year. Some of that's going to regress, but most of the favorable circumstances are going to stay the same. I don't really think there's any other team in this division that's all that exciting. I'm taking the 49ers with the Seahawks to finish behind the Rams.
Really? Okay.
If Cooper Kupp can play within the first 5 games.
Fair amendment.
Rams
Fair criteria.
Give me the Cardinals.
No, you actually got
Yeah.
Even producer Zach would not say that.
Yeah. No, I'm taking the 49ers.
I was trying to think. I was like, wait a second. Is Kyler Murray like playing or something?
No. They got rid of Colt McCoy. I'm so sad.
Oh, you know the Niners is a lock for Zach, too.
Yeah, Niners was
Yeah.
Diva.
I mean, yeah,
Diva.
check
Check the boxes, baby.
Who are your running backs again?
Javonte Williams. And you know why I said the Cardinals? James Conner.
James Conner.
There we go. Yeah, the theme keeps going.
Okay.
Well, the Cardinals or Broncos are wild card teams. Then,
They're
right?
wild cards.
Yeah, they're wild card.
Let's get into our awards now. We're gonna go with the 2 rookie of the years, the offensive defensive player of the year, the coach of the year, and the MVP. I'll start for rookie of the year. I don't think it'll be any of the quarterbacks. I know it's a quarterback
Can I see
award.
an odds list?
I don't have an odds list in front of me right now, but I can name you a few of the guys.
Yeah,
who are there.
name me a few.
That's towards the top. So the quarterbacks are towards the top. Bijan is the favorite. You also have Jordan Addison, Zay Flowers, Jahmyr Gibbs, Quentin Johnston. All the receivers are there.
Smith and
Jigba. Even though it's a quarterback award a lot of the times, I don't think that any of them will win it because I don't expect any of their teams to be that good or any of them to shine the way some quarterbacks have. So for me, it's between Addison, Jahmyr Gibbs, Bijan, and I'm going to go with Bijan. Even though he's the favorite, I think he could run for 1,000 yards and get the job done.
I'm going to go with the guy that I love coming out of college. First round pick. My guy at Boston College, Zay Flowers. I think that he probably ends up as the number 1 receiver in Baltimore on a team who makes the playoffs and has a good season.
Okay. Ziggy?
So it's tough for me not to take a quarterback, and I'll tell you why. If a quarterback puts up okay numbers and their team wins a few games, they're winning the award. Bryce Young, I think, is exactly that guy. He's not in a great situation, but he'll put up okay numbers, keep the team afloat and in the playoff conversation for a while. And he's just a quarterback, so he'll get that boost. So I think it's going to him.
Okay. You got
Could
Bryce?
be Stroud too, though, for exactly the same reasons.
I like Stroud a lot. I said before the draft, Bryce was my guy, but Stroud would have been the other guy in consideration for one. Zach?
I'm going to go total wild card here. I'm going to go Anthony Richardson.
Okay.
I'm going wild card.
Total wild card, third in the odds.
Yeah, third in the odds is super hype.
Well, I mean, because he's a quarterback.
Let's
I mean,
take
if he wasn't a quarterback.
the 4th pick in the draft should win Rookie of the Year. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what, though? It's not a bad pick, Zach. It's not a bad pick.
He's got the least hype, right? He's least
I
likely.
think it's the most hype.
It's the most hype.
But
No, to win Rookie of the Year.
yeah, maybe not
Yeah,
fantasy.
so
Fantasy-wise, yeah, but
Yeah.
people are high on Richardson.
He's the best odds.
Defensive Rookie of the Year here.
Richardson?
Third best odds.
Yeah.
Richardson. Defensive Rookie of the Year. There's Will Anderson, Jalen Carter, Witherspoon, those guys. I love Will Anderson. I think he's going to be a monster. Again, we saw him just running through the Miami Dolphins in the preseason. And I think he's going to really become a foundation of that defense that DeMeco Ryans is building with the soon-to-be Super Bowl champion Houston Texans.
I am going to take the corner I loved most coming out of college, the Oregon Duck, the New England Patriot, Christian Gonzalez. I believe he's 14
It's
to
a
1,
good pick.
somewhere around there. He has the opportunities. He's going to be the number one corner. He's going to be covering Tyreek Hill and Garrett Wilson. The opportunities will be there. He's a good, lengthy corner. And I'm going to take him at about 14 to 1 to win Rookie of the Year on the defensive side of the ball.
I totally agree on the Christian Gonzalez pick. We've seen what Bill Belichick does with corners. He makes even average corners look incredible. I think Christian Gonzalez is a lot better than average. And we're coming off a cornerback winning the award. It's easy money.
Okay. Zach, how about you?
If I knew any defensive players, I would go with somebody, but all I know is Witherspoon. So
Devin
that's who
Witherspoon.
we're taking. That's who we're taking.
Producer Zach,
Yeah.
Devin Witherspoon.
I'm about to hop on. I'm
Okay.
gonna hop
Offensive
on.
player of the year. I like Jamar Chase. I like Garrett Wilson.
Such a square.
Nope.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, I am. I guess I am square. I
Here
told
it
you
is.
guys last year.
Here it is.
He was an MVP dark horse. He had 1,800 yards this year. Will threaten 2,000.
There's the square.
Justin Jefferson. He has to be the pick.
Paulie, I think your face is squaring.
He's the pick. I told you last year. He's a dark horse MVP.
You look like-
he
you look
could lead the league in receptions, yards, and not touchdowns probably. But I think he has a fantastic year again.
You're squaring
Justin
out.
Jefferson.
You're squaring out a little bit.
Dude, he's amazing.
Is it nuts to take George Pickens?
Yeah, it's
It's
insane.
nuts, right?
Well, he's
Right.
more talented than Jefferson.
I mean, I think he is. I think that statement by Ryan Clark was valid.
okay, who do you have?
Jamar Chase.
Jamar Chase.
I think that. yeah.
What is so funny about that?
Because the joke with me and Jack is that
No,
Jamar
it's how much-
Chase
yeah,
sucks. And we stand by it.
If you rewind like a year back into the past, this exact day, I'm like, oh, bust alert, biggest bust ever. But I mean, freaking the amount of time I just don't want to take JJ because everybody probably will. But the amount of times that Jamar Chase is throwing the ball, I mean, it's just Jamar Chase.
Oh, he had 87 catches in 5 less games last year compared to 81 his rookie year, I believe.
I
He
look
had
at
more
my teams. I
catches.
see him scoring 60-yard TDs every week. So
Remember we talked about the red zone targets, 15 more than T. Higgins in 5 less games. I mean, the guy's unbelievable.
I'll unfortunately take that bum.
Ziggy,
Jamar
are you
Chase.
taking either of those guys?
I don't understand the offensive player of the year betting odds. The best offensive player in the NFL, a guy who's regularly in the conversation for the MVP, hasn't won as many as he deserves, isn't even being discussed in many people's top 10 lists. Patrick Mahomes is winning offensive player of the year. He's the best offensive player. He's perennially underrated, but that's okay. He is going to rise to the top. He finished second last year. I feel like people just don't remember this. He's going to put together another incredible season, and you can get him at like 30 to 1 odds.
Who won
It's
last
stupid.
Jefferson.
Offense, yeah,
did
Justin
Jefferson,
Jefferson,
yeah.
Jefferson
the
is-
second best offensive player in the league.
All right. Zach, offensive player of the year.
You ready for this one?
I think I know where you're going.
You know where I'm going with this
Tyreek
one?
Hill.
Tyreek Hill.
Jalen Waddle.
No, I was gonna say
Shit.
Jalen Waddle. But then Tyreek Hill's
Then
still
you
there.
realized that was insane?
No.
Is it?
I just realized Tyreek Hill's still there, and once Tyreek Hill leaves, it's Jalen Waddle all day.
Okay.
I mean, if Waddle won Offensive Rookie of the Year, I mean, that's great. I mean, he'd probably pop off for my fantasy team. And that would be electric.
Yeah, he should be good, but not offensive
Paul,
player
I
of the
bet
year.
you Hill has 2,000 yards before JJ does this year.
Oh, you think they both get there this year?
I bet you they both get there this year.
Look, Hill was
I
amazing
think
last
just Hill gets
season,
there
and
faster.
Tua missed a bunch of games. It didn't really impact Tyreek too much, but yeah, I mean, Tua's health is a huge factor as well. Defensive player of the year, I said this before, I think this guy might be the best player in football. Patrick Mahomes, you have to say number one right now, but Micah Parsons is going to threaten the sack record this season.
Nope.
But Stephon Gilmore, Trayvon Diggs locking it up in the back. A little more time.
Stephon Gilmore is so overrated.
Look, I think Micah Parsons
Overrated.
is just a beast. He's my defensive player of the year.
You know why he's not on Bill Belichick's defense anymore? Because he sucks.
He's one of the top corners in the league last season.
I will be
was not.
taking TJ Watt.
Stunner.
He is the most valuable player in all of football, and that's including quarterbacks. This is a different team, a different defense with him on the field. This team's going to win about 12 games or more. He will ball out, go absolutely nuts, and win Defensive Player of the Year.
Okay. Ziggy?
This is a player who I think many people don't even think is the best defensive player on his own team, but who I think is going to put up big numbers on a loaded defensive line unit that's going to get a lot of opportunities. I think that Quinnen Williams is a real candidate that not a lot of people are talking about. He put up decent numbers last year. He'll put up big numbers this year. He's a huge force on both sides. Like anywhere you put him on the defensive line, he's good. The Jets have a million guys around him. They're going to do some creative scheming. I think he's got a lot to offer. You can get him at like plus 3,000. I like Quinnen Williams a lot.
That brings us to producer Zach.
Oh, yeah. Why is it always like, oh, we're going to producer Zach?
Well, the good news is there's no Dolphins player you could possibly pick except Jalen Phillips, and you're not going to pick Jalen.
What about Nick Chubb?
Jalen Ramsey.
He's hurt.
Bradley Chubb? Bradley Chubb.
Bradley.
Oh, I said Nick Chubb. Bradley Chubb.
Who?
Nick Chubb to the Dolphins would be
Yeah.
big.
Oh, that would be
Can you imagine that offense? Chubb, Waddle, Hill.
Oh,
my gosh.
Oh, man.
Um,
What about Bradley
just
Chubb?
thinking
What
about
about
that.
Bradley Chubb in the backfield?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
All right, Zach.
I got a full shot.
I'm gonna say he signs with the team, and then it becomes one of the best players. Nick Bosa.
Nick Bosa. Okay. I mean, he won last year, correct? Last year,
Yes.
so you got back-to-back for Bosa. Okay, Coach of the Year and MVP. This is kind of tough for me here, guys, because it's so easy to just sit back and say Mahomes for MVP. And Coach of the Year, I mean, we could throw...
It's either gonna be the Panthers. One of them's gonna overachieve this year, and this is my thing. I
So
think one of
last
them
year,
overachieves.
Sirianni was... wait, Coach of the Year last year was... Reed? Who wound up winning? It was Sirianni, right?
Coach of the year was
It was the
Dable.
Vikings coach.
Sirianni
Yeah.
was it went Dable, Shanahan, Peterson.
Yeah, this is gonna be another one of those Giants. Like one of the rookies are gonna overachieve this year.
So we said on the show, I think that, or at least I did, that I thought Sirianni probably should have gotten the award. Dable wound up winning last year. Coach of the Year this season. If I have the Titans winning the AFC South, I think Vrabel has a real chance of winning Coach of the Year in that situation, just with the expectations they have. So I'll go Mike Vrabel to win Coach of the Year.
First division title in about 30 years is loading. Coach of the Year, Dan Campbell.
Here's the thing. Sean Payton gets a lot of love from the media, and the expectations are low. If he can take this Broncos team and make them look functional, he is going to get a lot of love. I like him.
Wait, so you think the Broncos are going to be good?
I think that if the Broncos are like a playoff contender, like they have a chance of making the playoffs and can win some games.
I'll tell you right now, Ziggy, if the Broncos don't make the playoffs, there's no world Sean Payton wins Coach of the Year. You have to make the playoffs.
See, I'm not sure that's true. If you see a lot, like if Dan Campbell doesn't live up to the hype and the Broncos improve.
That's why Dan
like,
Campbell
yeah,
didn't win Coach of the Year last year, because the Lions did not
I
make
think
the
he'll win
playoffs.
it this year if they make the playoffs. If they win the division, he'll win it.
Yeah, look, I'm putting out the take.
Okay,
I think that there's a decent chance that the Broncos will be good. If they're good, Sean Payton will get the award. It's that simple.
Okay. Zach, Coach of the Year.
D'Amico Ryans. 100%.
What are your expectations for Houston?
What?
I think they win.
When has a
70.
first-time head coach won Coach of the Year? Like
I'm sorry,
besides
Ziggy,
Dable?
I didn't go off on your take now, did I?
I mean, I guess I did.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's true. Well, I didn't do it, Ziggy, at least.
Okay,
But
D'Amico
I'm a
Ryans.
big D'Amico Ryan. I think the Texans
when they win
overachieve.
2 games this year.
I think they
D'Amico.
overachieve.
Well, if you come in third in the division, you can't win the Coach of the Year. I don't think it was-
I don't
He
believe it.
signed the Texans.
D'Amico
Okay.
Ryans.
Okay.
I'm high on the
Okay.
CJ Stroud train
All right.
with the
Okay.
Will Anderson that Paul
Oh yeah,
loves.
is it the no weapons rookie quarterback or dysfunctional defense that makes you most excited about this team? The
Exactly.
worst
He's
guards
gonna
in the
make it-
league.
He's going to make it functional, and then he's going to
So
win.
wait, if they go 8-9,
I mean,
Zach saying Ryan's gonna
Dable
win.
won last year.
Dable made the
made the
playoffs.
I know.
You're calling for a
Okay,
Houston playoff
okay,
run.
okay.
You calling for a Houston playoff
No, I'm not
run?
calling for a Houston playoff run.
That'd be something to
The
monitor.
executive
Yeah.
producer Zach element of these is great because you do get the wild cards that spur
Yeah.
up discussion. I
Oh,
have to give you credit.
yeah, because I don't. What if I go say like somebody good?
I would
What's
love
so
to
fun
get
in
on
that?
tape right now. Zach calling for a Texans playoff run.
Oh, that'd be
Look, I'll say it right now. Texas playoff run. It is then.
changing the pick.
All right.
Okay.
D'Amico Ryan's back in his hometown.
All right. MVP of the season. I'm actually thinking about this while we're doing it here. It's hard not to say
Yeah, everybody wants to say Patrick Mahomes.
Patrick
You're all boring.
Mahomes. Is that-
Boring.
I guess that is kind of boring, but yeah, you know what? I'm gonna say Mahomes again. I'll say Mahomes again.
Is it you want to go first? I really don't. I'm thinking. You go first.
Yeah, look.
We're all trying to not say Mahomes.
The current not only is it Mahomes, I'll be more emphatic. The current MVP odds are outrageous. The current odds, like it's Mahomes at 650, Burrow at 650, Allen at 650. I think Burrow regressed a little bit due to the injury, but like it's as if these quarterbacks are the same, and not as if Patrick Mahomes is consistently better than all of them. He deserves to be in his own tier in MVP voting.
All right, so we got two. We got the two.
There is no other sane choice than Patrick Mahomes.
That's the thing is right now he is just on a different level, and you can have the take like if you come out and say Josh Allen or Joe Burrow, if you go Herbert even has a big year, Hurts, it's fine. But I feel like we're watching a level of football right now where Mahomes is just a step above, and until he comes back down to the crowd, it's hard not to say. Now maybe we get sort of that LeBron factor where he is the best player in the league. But
no,
maybe...
that historically hasn't held in the NFL, right? Remember,
no,
like
really.
Tons of Rodgers won 2 in a row, Peyton won 2 in a row. They'll give Mahomes 2 in a row if he's good enough.
So I'm gonna be a little bit less of a square. I want to say Kenny Pickett.
I was gonna say,
I really do. Like
if you say Kenny Pickett, I'm logging off.
I really do want to say Pickett, but I'll be a bit less of a square, but still a square. Just go on like strength of schedule between the AFC contenders and a potential number 1 seed in the playoffs and take Joe Burrow.
Okay.
Because the AFC North schedule is cake.
Who happens to play for Jack's fantasy team.
Okay. Who I took in the 4th round.
Zach, how about you? We got 2 Mahomes, 1 Burrow. I thought you were actually going to lead that all up to Jalen Hurts as you were going through it.
I like Hurts. I mean, he obviously.
I think Hurts stays healthy. He should have got the award last. He was
great.
great.
Pickett could. I'm seriously thinking Pickett could as well.
I'm going to take the player that was rising up the MVP talks last year until he got hurt. Tua Tagovailoa.
Okay, all right, there you go. So, what do you know? What do you know, Zach?
Look, he was like what? At some point, he was like the 3rd.
I thought you were going to go Trevor Lawrence at the start of that, and I was going to say, okay, like maybe Tua was playing well at the end.
Yeah, I don't think Tua's a ridiculous pick. I mean. But if they win the AFC East,
I mean, yeah, I guess if you have them win the AFC East, like it all falls in line here. Okay, let's
beat out the Bills, the Jets.
Let's just go with our playoff predictions here. So, with what I said, Chiefs 1, I'm gonna have the Bills 2, Cincinnati 3, and 4 is gonna be the Titans. Those are your division winners. The wild card teams, I'm gonna go with the Ravens at the 5. I think them and the Bengals are gonna go at it all season. 6, I'll have the Dolphins. I really do like your squad, Zach. I know that we've kind of been joking around with them, but they're really good. And 7, Chargers and Jets here. I'm going to give it to the Chargers. So I have the Jets actually missing the playoffs.
I love that.
As the 8 seed.
Oh, I love that.
It's a really tough. Now, if the Jets could easily be the 2 seed here, but I'm going to have them missing out. Tough opening to the season. They're going to come on red hot at the end of the season. So very well they could find their way in, but for now, I have them at the 8 seed. Why don't we just do our AFC picks first?
Okay, I got Kansas City as the 1 because you can't really not take them as the 1, unfortunately. I got the Steelers as the 2. I got Buffalo as the 3 because they're going to eat that AFC East will eat each other alive. They'll have some losses in there. Buffalo wins it.
But the AFC North won't eat each other alive.
Oh no, we're going to roll.
Okay.
We're going to sweep Baltimore, sweep the Browns.
So Buffalo 3.
Buffalo is the 3. The 4 is Jacksonville. First wild card team is the 5. I'm going to give it to Miami. 6, I'm going to give it to the Chargers. And then 7, I'm going to give it to Baltimore.
So the Bengals miss the playoffs.
And leave the Bengals and the Jets out.
Wow. Okay. No. Oh, okay. Wait. Is that a joke? Are you serious?
No. That's a joke.
Okay.
Dolphins is the 5. Bengals is the 6.
Okay.
And then I'm going to give the Chargers a 7, leave Baltimore and the Jets out.
Okay. Ziggy?
Division winners, Chiefs, Bills, Browns, Jaguars. I think that's pretty straightforward.
Okay.
Probably in that order. Then it gets more interesting. At my 5, I feel like I got to give that to the Bengals. They're going to be good this year. The 6, I like the team from Los Angeles. Give me the Chargers. And 7, this one's gonna make a lot of people mad because there are a lot of teams people think should be in here that I'm not including. The New England Patriots will be making the playoffs this year. I've been beating this drum all offseason.
You have.
They are a lot better than people think. They're going to have an above-average offense and elite defense, and that can get you in the playoffs.
The Steelers don't make it.
We're leaving out the Steelers. We're leaving out the Jets. We're leaving out the Ravens. We're leaving out the Dolphins. We're leaving out the Broncos. We're leaving out the Tennessee Titans. None of them are getting
Sean
in.
Payton will be the coach of the year.
Look.
If Bill Belichick,
Listen. Here's the thing. Coach of the year is very hard to predict. You're talking like the favorites are starting the season at like plus 900. I think there's like a 30% chance the Broncos make the postseason.
So
if that happens, I think there's a decent chance the Broncos make the postseason. If they do, I think there's a high chance Peyton wins.
Can I ask you one follow-up question to that, Professor?
Yes.
If that happens, do you not find it quite likely that Kevin Stefanski would win Coach of the Year with the Browns?
Honestly, I think nobody wants to give the Browns any awards because people are rightfully sick of the Deshaun Watson situation.
Okay.
Like, I think Stefanski Coach of the Year is only mildly more plausible than Watson MVP. It does not matter how well they do. They can go 17-0. They're not getting those awards.
All right, Zach, how about you?
So we take the
this could be wild.
Dolphins
here.
won.
Dolphins won, naturally.
Dolphins won. Chiefs 2. No doubt in my mind. Then I'm gonna just surprise one. Jaguars.
Jaguars 3. Browns 4.
Browns 4. And then the wild card.
Do it.
Steelers.
There we go.
Now, do you have the 5 through 7, or are you just listing them here?
I'm gonna say the Steelers are 6.
Okay.
I'm gonna put them at 6.
Skipping 5 for fun.
Yeah. I do think the Bills at 5, and then I'm going to leave out the Chargers and put in the Ravens. Oh no, I'm sorry. I want to put in the Bengals. My bad.
Okay.
Bengals.
So you leave out the Chargers.
Yeah.
So wait. None of us had the Jets making the playoffs.
Oh, so you have the Steelers at the 6, Bengals at the 7.
Yeah.
Oh, I love to hear that. Love to hear that.
But I think Paul, that's crazy. None of us have the Jets making the playoffs. When the Jets are 5th in AFC Championship winner odds.
I'm telling you, it's a black cloud organization. I've been beating that drum all year.
Okay,
that's how I feel about the Chargers making the playoffs. They never make they always seem to be one game away.
You know what? I'm actually going to switch. I'm going to go with the Ravens at the 7 over the Chargers. I'm going to Baltimore and take out the Chargers. That's what I'm going to do as well.
Okay, so let me, because I want to circle back and then we'll end the show basically with finishing our Super Bowl predictions. So let me just get this straight here. Zach, you were the Dolphins 1. Mm-hmm. Then 2, you were Kansas City. Mm-hmm. 3, you had the Jaguars. Mm-hmm. And then 4 was the Browns. Okay. 5, you went with the Bills. You bit Bills, then Steelers.
Then Bengals.
Okay, then Bengals. Let me just write these out so I got your predictions here. Jack, you were the Chiefs.
Chiefs 1.
Yep.
Steelers 2.
Yep.
Bills 3. Jacksonville 4. 5, I went with the Dolphins. 6, the Bengals. And 7, the Ravens. Yeah.
And then Ziggy, you were 1 Kansas City.
1 Kansas City, 2 Buffalo.
Yep.
3 Cleveland.
Okay.
4 Jacksonville.
Yep.
Shoot, I believe I had
New England.
Bengals 7. At 5. Chargers at 6. Bengals at 7.
Got it.
Or not Bengals at 7. Patriots at 7.
Okay, all right. Let's we'll circle back to the AFC after the NFC. I'm gonna go here. Man, Philadelphia. We talked about how difficult the schedules were in the AFC East. Philadelphia has all those teams. They have the Jets. They have the Bills. They have, I believe, they have the Chiefs at some point this year. It's a tough schedule for Philadelphia, which makes me want to knock them down a little bit. It's easy to have them at the 1. I'm going to go San Francisco 1, the Vikings at 2, Philadelphia at 3, Saints 4, Cowboys 5, Lions 6, and then I think it's a close competition between the Seahawks and probably the Giants would be the next team there, and the Falcons will threaten. I'm going to give it to Seattle, though.
I'm going to go 1 Philly. I think they're the best team in the NFC.
Okay.
2 Detroit. 3
2 Detroit, really?
2 Detroit, yep. Second best team in the NFC. 3, I'm going to go with the Seattle Seahawks. I think they win the NFC West. 4, I'm going to take the Bucks. I have them winning the South.
Oh, my God. This is a shit show.
5, I have the Cowboys. 6, I'll go with Minnesota. And 7, I'll go with the Niners.
So you have Philadelphia, Detroit, Seattle, Tampa Bay is your 1 through 4.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, Ziggy.
Cowboys at 1.
Okay.
It pains me because I think the second best team are the Eagles, but I can't put them in until 5. But so we got Cowboys at 1. You got 49ers at 2. You got Lions at 3. You got Saints at 4. And then, we'll sprinkle in a little Philadelphia. We'll sprinkle in a little Minnesota at 6.
Sprinkle.
Okay.
And it's, boy, this is like the opposite of the AFC. In the AFC, you think I'm leaving like 20 teams good teams out.
Who do I
In the
get in?
NFC, you're desperate to put someone in. I mean, shoot. I guess the Packers.
Oh,
You
no
have three.
Bucks.
You
The
have
Packers.
Three NFC North teams getting in.
No Bucks.
What do you mean, no Bucks?
Okay, that'll bring us over to Zach
God.
now.
Zach,
I
Put
don't
the
even
Bucks in the
care for the
playoffs.
NFC.
Put the Bucks in the playoffs.
So I'm gonna be real square. Philadelphia, Vikings.
I'm sorry, you have us as the 2 seed.
Yeah.
I mean, Kirk's got.
Bro said he's
love-
going to be square and puts
You-
the Vikings
you
at
love-
the 2 seed.
Okay, Minnesota 2.
I love Kirk.
San
Oh,
Francisco.
sorry. No. Sorry. I meant
Oh, San Francisco.
San Francisco. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So to
okay.
be fair here
No,
in the
yeah.
NFC now, looking at, I think it's kind of fun that we're all over the place. Zach right now is shaping up to definitely be the squarest of the
Oh,
NFC
yeah,
picks,
yeah. Oh,
which,
sure, yeah.
which will tell you something about how bad our picks are probably going to be. Okay, Philadelphia, San Francisco.
San Francisco, the Vikings, Saints, and then God, I don't know who wants to be the 3 wild cards. Cowboys, 5.
Dallas is the 5.
The Lions.
Yeah, we'll shove the Lions in there. 6.
Rams.
No, can't do the Rams. I want to
Yes.
just put the
7.
Cardinals in there. Just put the Cardinals in there.
So Zach has the Cardinals and I have the Bucks.
All right, Zach is putting the Cardinals in just to give someone hope in the Cardinals.
Yeah,
wins,
yeah,
essentially.
yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
All right, so now that we have our playoff field set, we will wrap up the show by going through our playoff field. We'll stop at the Super Bowl, and then we'll make our Super Bowl predictions to end. I'm going to have, in the AFC, I'll have the Bills taking down the Chargers in the first game.
Oh, we're going game by game.
Oh, no,
I'm just going to go real quick.
What?
No, this is too much.
I was
Yeah,
just
yeah,
saying,
yeah,
This
yeah.
is
This
insanity.
is, just say the Super Bowl.
Maybe
man.
like
Just
champion-
Yeah, no. Do the conference championships and then Super Bowl.
Okay, my conference championship game, man, I'm going to have it once again be Cincinnati, Kansas City. And I think Cincinnati gets them this time, even in Kansas City. So I'll have Joe Burrow and the Bengals going back to the Super Bowl this year. They just get hot at the right time. In the NFC, I will have, oh, man. It's hard not to say a repeat here. I don't want to put the Vikings in there because they probably won't get there. I'm going to go with another repeat, 49ers, Eagles, and I will have the Eagles winning. Eagles, Bengals in the Super Bowl. Screw the Eagles. Bengals win the Super Bowl.
So in the AFC, I have the 2nd-seeded Steelers playing host to the 5th-seeded Dolphins in freezing cold January temperatures and going to the Super Bowl. And I'll be there waving my terrible towel as they punch their ticket. And then in the NFC, I have Detroit as the 2 seed going on the road to Philadelphia and getting destroyed. So Steelers versus Eagles, Battle of Pennsylvania, and the Eagles lose 2 Super Bowls in a row. And the Steelers hoist the trophy with Kenny Pickett.
All right, Ziggy.
No, you're laughing at me. I'm serious.
That's hysterical.
I mean, I'm dead serious.
It's a joke. It has to be a joke.
It's not a joke.
Like, out
Check
of your
the
mind?
schedule. Check the schedule.
Out of your mind?
Check the Steelers' schedule.
Okay, thanks.
All right, so Jack loses
You're
credibility.
welcome, Ziggy. You're welcome.
Ziggy, you have...
Chiefs versus anyone. I'll give them the Browns. Chiefs versus the Browns. Chiefs win 48-0. Go to the Super
Who
Bowl.
likes this? Come on, who likes this?
Look, I share my honest takes. I really think the Chiefs are just.
Okay, go ahead. You have...
Sorry,
So
You go.
so the Chiefs are in the Super Bowl. In the NFC, you're gonna have. I know that I've got the Cowboys winning the division. I think the Eagles are going to go on a run because the Cowboys just can't win a playoff game. So they'll be coming from that 5 seed. Guess that means they'll be playing the if you're in the 5 seed, you're in the top half of the bracket, right? That means they beat that means the Eagles will be beating the Cowboys to go on and face whoever's coming from the bottom.
So you'll have Dallas versus Philadelphia, and then you'll have probably 49ers, Detroit.
Yeah, so 49ers will win that. You'll have Eagles versus 49ers.
In
I
San
think this
Francisco.
time
In San Francisco.
Yeah, this time the 49ers get their revenge. And then you get Chiefs versus 49ers again. And sort of like last time, 49ers have no chance. Another Chiefs Super Bowl. Choo choo. Take it to the station.
Okay.
Dolphins, Chiefs. Dolphins win.
And then in the NFC?
What are these homers
In
up
the NFC,
to,
you
man?
have Philadelphia.
I'm sorry, Ziggy. Who's your team? The Vikings?
You have Philadelphia and San Francisco.
And then I will have Philadelphia and San Francisco.
The Cardinals.
Yeah, Philadelphia wins. And then the Dolphins absolutely destroy, just like when they had to pull Jalen Hurts out of the championship game for Tua Tagovailoa.
You think they just knock out Hurts in the Super Bowl too?
Yeah.
You know what? I have an amendment to make here.
Yeah, that would be funny. You get Tua versus Hurts again.
I have an amendment to make here.
Tua's like, this
what's
is
your
why
amendment,
we
Paul?
pulled you.
Oh,
for
I
me.
do like that.
He said, this is why we pulled you for me. I proved it once again.
If Jack has the Steelers and Zach has the Dolphins, surely it is understandable why Captain Kirk Cousins gets hot and goes on a run to the Super Bowl, right?
Of course.
You're right.
Of course.
No, my amendment would actually be San Francisco over Seattle. I forgot the revenge. Over Philadelphia in the NFC Championship game. Revenge factor. Brock Purdy's revenge game. Bengals beat the 49ers.
No.
But you know what? I'll just say the Vikings were fun because
Vikings over Bengals.
Because you got to have that.
Vikings over Bengals.
You got to have that on record so that we could come back and be like, he predicted the Vikings.
See, but you're not serious. I'm dead serious.
No, but I'm not insane.
I'm not
You're
insane
insane.
either.
I'm dead serious too.
I know
Okay,
you're
so
dead
your
serious.
Super
team
Bowl
is good.
champions, your Super Bowl champions on this show are the Bengals, the Steelers, the Chiefs, and the Dolphins.
Yeah,
I mean, there's really nothing wrong with that.
look, two sound pretty insane to me. Two sound pretty insane.
3 out of the 4 are juggernauts.
Okay, there you go. So there's your season prediction show with some pretty crazy predictions. But you know what? Here's the thing. Last year, if you were to
Nobody
say
wants to scroll, like, oh, this guy has
no
Bills.
one wants to scroll and see that
has
too.
Chiefs.
But like, if you think about the way the NFL works a lot of times, who had Philadelphia really being, a number 1 seed going on the crazy run they had last year? Like, teams do come out and know, like, it happens. If you can't just every year, if you just sit back and say, yeah, it's just gonna be the Chiefs. It's gonna be who was the big one last year in the NFC? I'm trying to think. Who was the favorite to win the NFC? People were high on Tampa Bay. People were high on Dallas.
Dallas was like.
People were high on Dallas.
People are in Tampa. Tampa was a big one.
I mean, like every year there are surprises, so you can't just look at these predictions. And even though Jack is kind of crazy with these Steelers takes here, it seems like to us, yeah, like it's possible that they're really good. You never know. So
Any given Sunday.
given Sunday.
I know.
All right, we will be back with a Week 1 preview. Can you guys believe it? Week 1 preview. Finally here. Excited to get back into football. And again, we're going to try and have something come out right after the Chiefs-Lions game. Oh, my God.
Yeah, we might go live. If you want us to go live, just say live in the chat and we'll do it.
Just say live. Yeah. Do we get one comment that says live?
I
The
say
over-under is 0.5.
Yeah, over under 0.5. Yeah. If we get 2, we're 100% doing it.
No, 100%.
I'm going to give us the over 0.5. I think it's plus like 300. I'll go over.
Yeah. We'll see. I mean, there are people who watch
We
this.
do not have loyal fans. I don't think any of our fans are going to back
I
us
have
up
loyal
here. I'm
listeners.
taking the
I
under.
think we have very loyal listeners. We
Yeah.
have great
Then they can
listeners.
prove it. Type live.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's all they have to
Type
do.
4
One
letters.
comment,
Type
one word,
Type
4
4
letters.
letters.
Live enter.
All right,
That's it.
we'll try. Guys, if Detroit wins, oh my gosh, it's gonna be a lot.
They're going to get blown out. I'll be on the Chiefs -6.
Jameer Gibbs and Travis Kelce on my fantasy team.
Did
See
you
some big
hear the
numbers.
Lions said today they're inventing a new role for Jameer Gibbs, a new position? It's so stupid.
Yeah, that's why I drafted him in the 3rd round. Phenomenal pick, as you said. Phenomenal pick. All right, we'll see you on Thursday. Thanks again for listening. Type in live, LIVE, live. See you next time, Paul Farrington Show.